Hello everybody and welcome back to some more of our FM19 Journeyman, where we are currently in charge of Torslanda in the Swedish 4th tier, and as you can see we have 6 games remaining of our first season. Vimbergs and Halmia are the game today, and I'm hoping we can get 2 wins and still try and make a very late push to take the top of the table back, because as you can see Lindholm's still 6 points clear. Well, they've sort of started to run away with it a little bit. A poor run of form for us and a good one for them has seen them take quite a sizable lead. And Ullareds and Savadalans, 2 teams which we both have to play, well, they're right behind us, to be honest. So this could literally, we could finish anywhere from 5th to 1st at this point. Asariska quite close to us as well, especially after beating us in the last episode. Yeah, this is certainly not clear-cut, is it? But as you may remember, we do have a suspension to deal with. Anton Olsen is out, as I press page down and it sends me everywhere. That was strange. But yeah, he's out with a suspension. So weirdly, Furholm Lemborn can actually play the ball-winning midfielder role quite well. So yeah, that's how we're going to fill that one in. He's just going to come in and hopefully do a decent job there. He played reasonably well at attacking midfield throughout the season, so hopefully he can still continue to contribute. Other than that though, the only other change I've made is I've put our mentality on attacking instead of balance just to start with. I feel like we need to try and create some more chances, to be honest. We have 2 very, very good goal scorers up front. We just need to try and get a bit of the supply going to them again. So, with that all said and done, let's go into this first game here against Vimbergs, and hopefully we can pick up a decent result. As you can see, they're in 6th, which is pretty... We've struggled with teams that are sort of in and around this point, so it could be quite a difficult game, and if things go wrong, we could potentially drop quite far down the table. I'm trying to see if any of these play each other, and it doesn't look like they do, so we could potentially drop to 5th today. Worrying, to be fair, considering our current run of form, but hopefully we can turn it around and we can pick up a good 3 points. So, they have a standard 4-4-2, a couple of players with some faces in there. They look quite decent, actually. Yeah, they're not bad. They're good players for this level. So, hopefully, that doesn't cause any problems as we look to get stuck in here. Corner to them then, Nordstrom's going to take, he heads in and, well, Asmar spills it into his own goal. Oh, it actually came off of Landholm. Well, I'm really intrigued to see what happened here. I'm very confused. Lindholm take a 1-0 lead against Kvarnby, which just makes this worse, but Nordstrom puts it in, Fanny crosses, and yeah, it literally just goes off the head of Landholm and into our own net. He just couldn't keep it clear, and we've been dominant until that. We've had more shots on target, more possession, nothing we've actually seen, but it's a good sign, and then we just go and concede a silly goal like that. It's frustrating, to be honest. It's not how you really want to start a match. And as this first half absolutely flies by, we're not seeing anything from our side. As well, there is a throw in here. Landholm's going to take, gives it to Kettler. We need a goal before half-time. We don't want to be going in at the deficit. Jonathan Olsen now on the ball. We're knocking it around the midfield quite nicely. He's found a bit of space here. We just need to find a ball into the box. Avdiu's on it. He's scored a lot this season and he bags his 10th right there. Very well-worked goal. The ball to Jonathan Olsen found him in a bit of space to get a bit of a run going. And then the pass back across. Avdiu was in acres. I mean, this one right here, look, you'll see Jonathan Olsen had a bit of room to manoeuvre himself. Draws a couple of defenders over to him and then picks out Avdiu. As I've just noticed, my camera's been hidden for this entire game. Silly of me, really. That's amateur. But yeah, it was a good goal. It has to be said. So it's better than going in at a deficit. Obviously, it's not going as well as we'd like, but with that goal there, you'd say they've scored an own goal, or sorry, they've gone 1-0 up from an own goal from a corner. Not they've scored an own goal. That's confusing. But other than that, we've been largely the better team, so hopefully we can see a little bit more of that. And if we take a look at what some of the other teams around us are doing, well, Ullareds are winning and Savadalans are drawing. Asariska, that's not the right Asariska, is it? There's 2 of them. Where's the one we actually need? Oh, they're actually 1-1. They're playing each other. Okay, that's why that was so confusing. So yeah, 2 draws and the result not going our way. That's... Let's just say I'm not really pleased with how things are going. I'm going to say I'm not happy with your performance, and that seemed to have quite a good impact. Avdiu, the standout player, on an 8.2, after bagging his 10th of the season, he's been quite a good goal scorer, really. Not really understated. I've bigged him up quite a lot, but compared to the likes of Salahu and Kettler since we've brought him in, he's been a bit quiet, and it gave them a free kick for a second there. I thought we were going to have a penalty. Oh no, it's a free kick to us. Well, that was in the box. Nonsense. Salahu's going to take it though. Hits the wall. Kettler strikes. Just goes wide. I'm convinced that was in the box. We have another one though. Similar spot. Salahu strikes. Goes over the bar. And well, we're getting a lot of free kicks away here, but not much of anything else. As Lindholm take a 3-0 lead, but we have a corner. Furholm Lemborn puts it in. Eriksson heads down. Fundel Ryberg! Well, that's a wonderful volley. From our right... Oh, wait, is he a right back or is he a central midfielder? I'm confused. I've got confused between Furholm Lemborn and Fundel Ryberg. I'm sure he's our right back and he's just back that. He must be our right back. There's no way his first goal of the season for a midfielder. Yeah, okay. What a wonderful volley. I got confused between my own players. Oops. But, wonderful way to take the lead back into the game. The word wonderful is being graciously abused right now, but they've made a centre-back substitution. A potential injury or something? I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to look to do something of my own. I'm just not quite sure what yet. I think it's going to be Al Jafari for Anton Eriksson. Jonathan Olsen's having far too good of a game to take off. And, well, Furholm Lemborn, he's been, quietly confident in that central midfield role, I would say. Our strikers aren't really giving as much, but I just feel like they're better than all of our other strikers by such a massive distance. It would seem silly to change them. So this is the change we're going to go for. Just Al Jafari on for Anton Eriksson. And hopefully, well, we don't win many games by 1, it has to be said, but... Well, we have another corner here, starting the highlights, normally a good sign, as Kettler's on the ball. He strikes, it hits the corner of the bar and the post. I'm not sure if that deflected or what. It must have had some crazy curve, if not. But Landholm's on it, for a home Lendwin. Fumble Ryberg, well, we're passing it around nicely. It deflects off of everyone. Ends up in a corner in our favour. Can we bag another goal here? For a home Lemborn's going to take again, and it's awful, and they now look to counter-attack. Well, Anderson's on it. And we need to shut it out, and we do so nicely. There's 10 minutes left to play in this game. We've been the dominant side. Far more shots, far more on target. And hopefully we can see this out for a win with 10 seconds left to play. We have a throw-in in their area. Landholm's going to take. Kettler nods on. Jonathan Olsen on the ball. Can we just hold it up, please? I thought we were going to give it away for a second there. Just hold the ball up, and let's just win. There we go. 2-1 against Vimberg. So a decent team. They're up in 6th. So a win here is, it might be a narrow win, but we were the dominant side, as you saw from the stats, and I'll pull those up again in a minute. But, yeah, we were by far the better team, and we got that in the result, which is all you can really ask for at the end of the day. Right now, we just need to focus on putting points on the board to maintain our league position, and we have managed to do that. A draw for Savadalens, then, is actually quite a good result for us. It seems them drop down to 5th in the table, which shows how tight it is, really. They were top for a massive period of time. So, yeah, Ullereds managed to pull out a win, as did Asteriska Turbidin IK. So, everything's a little bit tight right now. It's all getting a little bit close. Weirdly, all of us won by 1 goal margins, so the goal differences haven't changed at all in comparison to each other, which leaves us hanging on to this second spot. And in theory, this game against Halmia, who are down in 11th, should be a little bit easier, but they have just picked up a 2-0 win. They might have a little bit of momentum going for them. The difference, by the way, in these bottom 3 teams, just in terms of the goal difference, is absolutely mental. They've got -25s. These are on -12. I mean, Gvarnby are awful. 3 of those points are against us, aren't they? No, they beat Asariska BK. That's arguably weirder. Oh, no, it's not. They're only right above them. I keep getting confused. That's 3 really good draws they've got, though. The 3 of their points have came from against teams in the top 4. That's ridiculous. Ugh. They're doing quite well for themselves, but they're completely irrelevant right now. We've played them twice already. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm focusing on them, really. Let's get into this next game. So here we are then for the game against Halmia, but before we get into this, I just want to let you know that we have just gone on a mass contract offering spree and pretty much offered contracts to the players who've sort of played a key part in this season. I'm not sure whether or not they'll still be starters next season, but I think everybody in this starting 11, with the exception of Hugo Nilsson, because he's only just came in and I'm not sold on him, yeah, they've been offered a contract for next season, as well as Al Jafari and Furholm Lemborn, I think. So, yeah, all of those players who sort of played a pretty integral role in this season. Oh, and obviously Marcus Kettler hasn't been offered a new one. He's literally just signed his contract. But yeah, other than that, everyone else, I've looked to get them locked down for the next season. Regardless of what division we're in, I'm sure they'll be able to play a role in some capacity. Especially, obviously, the likes of Anton Salahu, Haris Avdiu, the 2 fullbacks from Fundel Ryberg and William Landholm, and the midfielders too. So, and Asmar's just been so good for his rating. I'm just really, even if he just stays on a backup, I have a confidence in him now that he can just, if we need to play him, he can play. Even if we do upgrade over him, I just have that confidence in him, and it's just really nice to have. It's very comforting to have him in goal. So, we're going into this next game. As you can see, after you're starting to get a bit of that link up with Kettler, which is always nice to see. So, let's submit the team, and let's get stuck in, and hopefully get another win. It's been ages since we've had a double win episode. It's not been that long, really. It was the episode we signed Kettler, I'm pretty sure. It was like 2 videos ago. But it feels like ages, because that was like a week and a half ago for me. I want 2 wins. Let's go. Get in. Play. I want another win. I want a win. I want to keep this season alive. Corner to us then, and Skoog is going to take. He flicks it in, and well, Anton Olsen wins the header, and he manages to bury it. It was a goal, not necessarily early, but it's a first half goal, 20-odd minutes in. It's a good sign. It's a wonderful corner, by the way, from Skoog. Brilliantly taken. Bang on the head of Anton Olsen there, who runs into the path of the ball very well. Their keeper just sort of flops over. It wasn't a great attempt at a save, but we will take the goal nonetheless. But now they have a goal kick. They pump it up into the box and do manage to take possession of the ball. Can we win it off them? Nelson manages to win the header, and well, we are now in possession as Avdiu pumps it forward, and Salahu looks to get on the end of it, but can't. But we do maintain possession. Fundel Ryberg winning it back as we work it around the midfield. The ball goes over to Kettler, who strikes. So, well, it was a first-time volley, and it was on target, but quite a straightforward save for their keeper, it has to be said. I think Kettler had a bit more time there to take that a little bit slower, which is a bit of a shame, really. Salahu was there with him, and something could have came of that, and it didn't, which is quite disappointing. Not really sure what to make of Kettler so far. He's obviously a good player, but he's not quite doing as well as I expected him to, if that makes sense. I just expected more involvement from him. Not necessarily in the goals department, but just him doing more. And we've not really seen it. So, with that said and done, we are now at half-time. How are we the underdogs? These are like 11th and we're 2nd. Happy with your performance, keep it up. I guess it's because of our predicted finishing, but still. Underdogs. I'm not having that, no. Let's kick on to this second half until people stop calling us underdogs against teams we're 9 places higher than in the league. They have a free kick here then, deep in their own half. It goes forward, but Fundel Ryberg cuts it out. He plays through Salahu, and, well, it deflects off of their keeper's leg. Salahu pounces, puts it into the back of the net, and that was absolutely awful from their goalkeeper. Now, instead it was a mistake by the guy who took the free kick. The free kick wasn't dreadful. It was a really good interception by Fundel Ryberg, but yeah, the ball goes forward. Obviously, he was being played on by the guy who took that set piece. If you were looking at that and thinking he was offside, I had the first reaction the first time around, but it's just clicked in my head. But their keeper, it just deflected off of his leg. Dreadful. But we're in another highlight here. Jonathan Olsen's picked up a bit of a knock, which isn't the best. But they come forward here, they tap it across, and it's it's straightforward, isn't it? They didn't have any drama about scoring that one. That was way too simple. Let's look at this again as Bagner takes, knocks it back here to Furman. They pump it forward, and Peterson just absolutely burns Landholm, who I think the ball actually deflected off of there. And, well, Asmar couldn't really have done too much. The ball was over the line by the time the striker got a touch on it. Bit unfortunate. Now, I'm going to take off Jonathan Olsen. When we have a player like Al Jafari on the bench, it'd be silly to keep him on, really. So, let's make that change now. And, bit panicky now we're only 1 goal up, to be honest, as we have a goal kick. Asmar's going to take. Ball out wide to Fundel Ryberg is okay. Hopefully, though, we can work it forward towards a goal. We tried to play a long ball there. Al Jafari to Kettler, but it doesn't work out. And now they look to come forward on the attack. Peterson contributed in the first goal, coming forward here. We cut that ball out, though. Anton Olsen pumps it up. Kettler races to it, but Halso gets there first. Can we manage to force another mistake to win the ball back, or will they look to come forward again here? Sabo lumps it up, and, well, it's just back to Asmar. Why is this a highlight? What are we watching? Where's the action? What's the cause of this being a highlight? We pump it out. Fundel Ryberg on the ball. Can this be in our favour as we pump it up? Very zoomed in again. Back a bit. Salah who tackles the defender. And, well, it's his 20th goal of the season. And I don't think he's scored 2 easier goals than the 2 he's had in this game. There's some shocking defending at this level, by the way. Worse than what we had at Berwick in some cases. But look at this. Gustafsson wins the ball and gets absolutely robbed. I say that was awful. Didn't that happen to, like, Ben Mee the other week in the Premier League? I can't remember who it was against. But, yeah, he just got absolutely robbed. It might have been Arnautovic. But, yeah, that's very reminiscent of that. It might have been Tarkovsky even. I can't remember, okay? But 3-1. Back into a bit of confidence here. We can stop talking about Burnley. And, well, we have a free kick. Landholm's going to take. We drill it to the back post. Anton Olsen goes for goal, but just over the bar. With 10 minutes remaining then, let's make a change. And there's a temptation to drop Kettler for a couple of games, purely because he's just not doing enough. Like, I just don't feel he's involved enough. It's not that he's not scoring, he's not even in the highlights. Like, I just don't know what he's doing, really. But I think Foroholm Lemborn is going to come on for him right now, and then we're going to revert back to this system, just for the last few minutes, a bit more of a supporting system, a bit more possession-based. And with that said, we're going to go to this positive style, and just look to see out the game. Now, just check everyone else in the right place. The game loves just throwing people around when you change system for some reason. But, so far, this is going relatively well. They've made a defensive change again. They've took off a fullback for a centre-half when they're down. That doesn't seem great, but with 5 minutes added time, we have a corner. Al-Jafari puts in. Salah who goes for goal. Easy save, though. No hat-trick for him today so far. And the question is, really, will they manage to bag one back and make these last few minutes a little bit tense, or will we extend the lead even further? Or neither, I guess. As the ball goes forward and Johnson is on it, can he get a shot away? Well, was that a challenge? Hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, that doesn't get to go ignored. Not a chance. Johnson runs forward for it here. Skoog with... I don't think he actually got a touch on the ball, but to not bring the player down for a penalty there was impressive enough. Jesus. But either way, the ball doesn't go in the net, ricochets off the post and goes out. And with, well, just 15 seconds left to play, you've got to imagine this is going to be another win for us. A double win episode. It's good to be back on them. As Funder Ryberg holds up the ball in the last few seconds, and that does indeed see us to a Salahu inspired, or an Anton inspired, double Antons with the goals, 3-1 win. Anton Olsen doesn't actually score very many. He's only scored like 1 all season. So it's good to see him on there. And again, we absolutely dominated the shots on target. Bit tighter on the possession this time, but not as tight on the goals. So you're not going to complain, are you? A 9.0 rating there for Anton Salahu. Absolutely wonderful performance for him. Very happy with the result and the way you've played. And, well, it's good, to be honest. Let's see how everyone else got on. Let's see how sort of how the table's shaping up as we go into 4 games remaining in the league. We have to play Ullereds and we have to play Savadalans. That could absolutely throw... It could be fantastic for us. It could secure us the title, or not the title, but, you know, the playoff spot, or it could be disastrous and cause absolute nightmares. Now, the Savadalans game is getting less and less impactful by the minute, as they are now 3 points behind us, even though they picked up a win today against Lerums. But Ullereds also managed to win. Lindome did drop points to Asariska Turbadin, which is good for us. Both those teams very close to us. We're now within 4 points of Lindome, so that gap's being closed a little bit. It's going to be a very hectic end to the season, to be honest. There's still 5 teams here really battling it out, and then there's a massive gulf, and then everyone else. But one more thing, actually, before we end the video, just because I've just remembered this. Someone asked if we could see our profile, so this is where we are. As you can see, I don't think I'm blocking anything here, just our career stats. We'll go through those in a bit more detail. The reputation is still minimal, but that star has definitely filled up a little bit since before. We're studying for our National B licence, as we have been through most of this save, actually, or most of this season, I should say. And, well, here's our characteristics. So our media handling's going up a little bit. I'm trying to sort of do a bit more with the media sort of off-screen. Loyalty to players, we haven't really had a chance to demonstrate, I guess. Domestic player bias has just sort of been a product of the leagues we're playing in. Most of the Scottish players were Scottish and the Swedish players were Swedish. So it just sort of came naturally. Team discipline's one of our higher rated ones, along with team or tactical consistency, which, you know, aren't bad to have. Hands-on approach is pretty decent, as managing finances. All things that will sort of make us look good if we need to go for another job. No relationships really to speak of, so let's go through the career stats. So we've spent 225 days at our longest time as a club and 174 at our shortest. So 432 days of game time so far. And are we on a positive win percentage? We are. So... yeah, oh wait, is that just at Torslander? That's just at Torslander. Overall, we're at a negative win percentage. 36% actually, that's awful. But we are closing down that goal difference. We're closing this down. If you remember at Berwick, we only won 1 game and lost about 12. So, yeah, we've spent most of this season playing catch-up, and it's safe to say we've not done a terrible job. I'd imagine at one point we might have been positive, actually, because we've lost a few games more recently than we did at the start of the season. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. But... with any luck, we can hopefully keep this run of form going, this double win here, and ride it out to the end of the season, and at least we can do the most we can possibly do to finish as high as we can. If other teams finish above us on things like, you know, Limborn are a little bit ahead at this point. If we don't catch them up because they don't drop points, that's not really on us. Who do they play, just out of interest? This is going on for a while, I'm sorry, I'm just intrigued about things. Oh, that's not great. Vimbergs are pretty good, and Hitops aren't awful, but other than that, they don't have Ullareds, they don't have Savadalans. They've obviously just played Asariska, and they don't have us, which is, well, disappointing. And you can see why they're up there. They haven't lost a game since May. We're in August. They haven't lost a game for over 3 months, nearly 4. And that was to us. Well, yeah, you can certainly see why we're up there. It's like we beat them, and that inspired them to turn it around. They've gone on an absolute rampage, and hope, there's still chance for anything to happen. A couple of bad results here and we are right back in it. They're 4 points ahead, so 2 draws if we win every game, and we're right back in the thick of it with them. Let's find out tomorrow then if we can do that. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and, well, I hope we see you back tomorrow as we try to conclude this season in the next couple of episodes. If you want to be here for that, the video goes up at 5:30, or you can subscribe to get it in your feed, whichever you prefer. And if you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. I'm genuinely having such a good time with the series. It's great. I love it. It's so fun. Like, you don't know who anyone is. You don't know how good a team's going to be. And when a team batters you, you don't know if it's meant to happen or not. It's just really interesting to play. And I hope you're enjoying watching it as much as I am playing it. So with that all said and done, thank you very much. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a great night.